Strategies that you could use as informal assessments or checking for understanding by Shalika Philippe. The content of this video are definitions for strategies, aha moments, how I will implement the strategies in my own classroom, and the references. Informal assessment. Informal assessment method is an intuitive assessment method wherein teachers do not evaluate student performance on some grade or metrics. Rather, they focus on observing students' performances and progress at different stages of their learning time frame. Checking for understanding. Checking for understanding is the teacher continually verifying that students are learning what is being taught while it is being taught. Strategy 1. Watch for understanding. Observe and deduce cues from body language and facial expressions or written language by monitoring discussion board interactions. For example, when observing the class while the students work on assignments, look for physical expressions such as does the student look frustrated, put his or her head down, use negative word or phrases like, for example, this work is stupid, that shows that the student having difficulty. Strategy 2. Quiz for understanding, Kahoot. One of the most fun ways to get kids to share what they know is Kahoot. Kahoot is a platform where teachers create quizzes, discussions, and surveys. One of the advantages of using Kahoot is that it gathers data for teachers in a downloadable worksheet where they can see if the students are struggling with a specific part of the lesson. For example, use Kahoot at the middle of lesson for checking for understanding for material covered so far. This allows the time to reteach the material or to move on. Strategy 3. Exit slips. Exit slips are written student responses to questions posed at the end of a learning activity or at the end of a day. For example, write one question you have about today's lesson. This allows the student to think and write what they feel and doesn't make them feel like we put a spotlight on them. Strategy 4. Misconceptions of check. Present students with common or predictable misconceptions about a chosen concept, principle, or a process. Ask them whether they agree or disagree and explain why. For example, the teacher presents a false fact about a lesson being taught. Each student decides whether he or she agree or disagree with the fact. Then student present his or her agreement or disagreement in any of the following way. Maybe with colored card, like one color for agree, one color for disagree, or thumbs up, thumbs down, stand up, sit down. The aha moments that I had during this class. My first aha moment is learning more in-depth information about IEP and 5O plan, how these two plans differ and help our student population, and that it can be helped with our general ed population. Another interesting fact that I found was types of team teaching strategies. As a paraeducator, I have practiced several strategies, but I didn't know about them in depth, nor the importance of such strategies. Last but not the least, another thing that I learned was that the importance of pre-referral process and how it can be helpful. Furthermore, I learned about the student study team and how it can be helpful too. How I will implement the informal strategies in my own classroom. In my opinion, assessments plays a foundational role in special education. Students with disabilities are complex learners who have unique needs that exist together with their strengths. By using informal assessment, I will be able to get a clear idea of what strategies works well and what areas I need to reteach or scaffolding I have to implement. For example, using exit slips allows me to get an idea of to what extent the student understood the day's learning. A Kahoot is an excellent assessment as it allows us to break free from traditional method and use technology to access the assessment. I can use this strategy halfway through the lesson to check progress or after I complete a mini lesson or to even refresh the memory of what we did yesterday. Furthermore, using Kahoot make the learning fun. These are the references that I have used to create this video. Thank you.